Alright boys, welcome back. So Skinny Escanor is going to be the next festival character, but this one is going to be a lot more interesting as this is the first character ever in Grand Cross to kind of depict two characters in the portrait, meaning this character most likely will be some way of a transformer character. So trying to break down how this character is going to play is definitely going to be tricky, but we have some ideas, so we're going to break it down in today's video. So boys, if you are new, of course, hit that like button. It really does help out the channel, and it's kind of the only thing YouTube cares about. So let people see this video because we have some pretty good ideas here, and of course let me know yours down below, because generally they can go any route with this character, and I'm really looking forward to it. Even though we know who the character is and how, you know, how it's going to really work out, it's still going to be fun to see how the character actually plays in game, and it's going to be good to come out to the video and see how right or how wrong we were. But hey, my prediction last time was almost spot on about what Escanor can give us, so let's see how spot on we can get this time. Alright, so let's go over how the character will play. Now, first we should obviously distinguish that the character will be playing as the main gimmick and the main look of the character, despite Ultimate Escanor being in the background, being big and prominent. It's going to be Skinny Escanor. Skinny Escanor, when you select your character, you see him on this actual screen. It is going to be Skinny Escanor. The main reason why is because they can't just sell another Ultimate Escanor as like a festival character. There's got to be, you know, a different look towards him. So starting off with Skinny Escanor is by far going to be the thing they're going to go towards. And if you look at the actual like artwork they show for the character, they are wearing the exact same outfit. So it does look like if you change the Skinny Escanor, is also going to affect the Ultimate Escanor you do play as later on. However, that does happen. But obviously, this character is going to be a transforming character. However, we've seen transforming characters actually not come out since Aaron's release. There have been a few transformer characters, and the way they're going to do it, and I think they're going to do it, we'll talk about in a second, but the traditional way of transforming by building your ultimate and then ulting to where you change your actual model, you get some big buffs, and you get your actual new animations is probably not going to happen. This is not how Escanor is going to play. To ult and then to do nothing and then boom to get new effects, it clearly does not work in Grand Cross, and we've seen them release basically three even actual, you know, transformer characters, that being Philo and actually the new Aaron. So yeah, Aaron is going to be, I think, how they're gonna exactly make this festival Escanor. It's gonna be Skinny Escanor standing there where one of his actual skills will probably just be Escanor actually attacking. Maybe it's a buff skill, maybe the stance skill, and then skill 2 would probably once again change the animation. Very similar to what we see right now. Aaron goes up and boom, jumps down in his Titan form and boom, goes back to his normal self. I think it's going to be almost the exact same thing they're going to do here, where he's going to transform into the one. And I think by far the easiest thing to say here is that it's going to be Skinny Escanor. Boom, he's going to ult very much like Aaron. He's going to transform like how we see in the actual, obviously, story and the anime. And at the end of the ultimate, he's going to de-transform back. And honestly, boys, I can see the ultimate effect being the finger poke, the Holy Spear Escanor, which hasn't really been a skilling game. So yeah, for his ultimate, I'm going to guess that this is going to be the ultimate. He is going to do the Holy Spear Escanor, do the massive finger poke. I guess it will have to be AoE, so somehow they will make it AoE, I'm not too sure. But regardless of it, I think definitely at the end, he is going to pop back into his normal self, and we are now back towards Skinny Escanor. I think that's the simple and easiest way we can see them already done it in Grand Cross, and they're probably going to do it again. But to play devil's advocate a little bit here, we do see that Ultimate Escanor does have the same outfit as the original one, which is leading me to believe that, well, his clothes aren't going to rip when transforming, meaning that we might get to play as the actual character. So maybe that's not actually how it's going to play out. So the next way the character could transform, and this might be likely here, boys, is going to be meeting a certain condition. Now, there's been a few characters that have these special borders. Chaos Alpha after like 2 turns or moving 4 times, he's going to get the Chaos Control and gets that special border. We saw Victoria when she crits, like, you know, the enemy 3 times. She gets her Queen's Authority and you get that special border. Same with Purg Millie. When he does his condition where he gets attacked 3 times or uses 3 skills, he's going to enter this true magic form and you get that special border. I think that's how Escanor is also going to play here, where wherever the condition may be for Skinny Escanor, once he gets his special border, wherever it may be, where he gets attacked a few times, dropped below a certain amount of HP, you know, after 2 or 3 turns, he's going to get the special border, and boom, he's then going to transform into, obviously, Ultimate Escanor, and he's going to get some new animations and some new skills. I think it's always possible that the character might not get new skills, but instead just get new actual, you know, animations. This is something I did similar with my actual Demon Slayer collaboration, where I had Nezuko transform. Once again, this is my theory, right? But Nezuko, what you can see in her normal self, she does the exact same skills that I've planned for her to do. However, the actual animations do change because her actual model does change. It's still the same skill effects, and it could very well do that because, once again, transformer characters, if they have to be restricted to only dealing big damage after a certain amount of turns, it's going to limit them a little bit. And I guess the final two ways they can do it is, one, what we saw with the final bosses like 2-3 years ago now, actually, where the 10 commandment final bosses, after 2 turns, they got that, you know, black misty effect around them, and then boom, they transformed. We very well could see that towards obviously Skinny Escanor, towards obviously Ultimate Escanor. We have like a massive smoke cloud, boomy transforms. That'll be another cool way of doing it. But once again, limiting, right? Because that means that like the first 2 turns are going to be kind of bad. And then another one people have been suggesting is the character actually dies and he then transforms. This one I think is a lot less likely because dying to transform is not a good thing. So I don't think it's going to happen. If they really want him, they can do something similar to how they did the normal Escanor, which is very similar to what I was saying about after like 2 turns, he gets a buff, but you get the whole gimmick of the character, right? He gets 3 buffs and he enters his, you know, high noon, right? That might be similar with Escanor again, where after 3 turns, he would transform here, and after another turn, he does 1 big attack. He then loses the buffs, and he then de-transforms. Once again, there's a lot they can do with Escanor with the high noon mechanics, so we'll have to wait and see. Okay, so my final prediction about how the character is going to play here. And also, I do want to point out that we don't see any weapons in the character. So it's very possible we might not get to see the normal Escanor with his, obviously, you know, Rita axe. But it's also where they could do it as well. So let's talk about it. So I believe his first skill is going to be Skinny Escanor. It's just going to be a normal single target skill that is going to deal some good damage as his normal self. Skill 2 is going to be an AoE skill where he might do something similar towards how we saw Eren, where he jumped into the sky to hide the actual model switch, basically, and we're going to see him come down as the normal daytime Escanor and do a Cruel Sun plus Pride and Flare, where he does his actual, you know, massive AoE explosion on the actual, you know, Cruel Sun, and that could be where he does an AoE skill. They don't have to do that with the normal time Escanor. They could do that simply with just Ultimate Escanor. They might just cut out the actual normal Escanor entirely. But like I said, since the character is going to have a weapon, well, there's something he can also do as well, where he jumps up into the sky, calls his Axe Rita. The Axe Rita flies towards him, and he slams down, doing a massive AoE slam. Very similar to what we saw with the OG Escanor in the final boss, where he does that super slash, basically. So that could be another way where they can get the Axe involved into the character's kit without him, or at least a small one, actually carrying it, right? And his ultimate, of course, like I've been saying, is going to be him transforming into Ultimate the one Escanor, where he is going to do his finger poke, which I guess would be single target, but I guess they could still make it AoE. They probably have to make it AoE to actually, like, you know, be actually good in the game. At least for a festival character, they just love getting festival AoE skills, right? That was the last time we got a single target ultimate on the festival, so it was somehow probably AoE. Or maybe single target and they give him like Ultra Death, where he does damage death twice. So yeah, boys, that is how I think the character is going to play out into Grand Cross. So let me know your comments down below. We kind of did like a little breakdown a little bit on the actual signature podcast we talked about with the other boys too. A lot of people gave that idea. So there's a lot of ways they can do about it. So even though we know how the character's going to look, it's still super exciting to see how the character's going to play out in game, because this one is going to be, because this one's most likely going to play a lot different than how we've seen any character play so far. So a lot of opportunities that can go here. So boys, thank you for watching, and yeah.